Hi guys, so we talked about passing parameters from controllers to view, right? Now we want to look at passing controllers to, for example, from the route to the controller to the view. Now, what is a potential use case? Remember, we have our Teams page, right? We have our Teams page. Now we have team here. Imagine we want to say team/Martin, for example. This will give us no file found, team/Weno, team/John, right? Normally, based on the way you're looking at it, right, you'll be thinking that we should be doing team/Martin, for example, /John. But again, if it means that as team members are added onto the application, we'll have to be creating more and more routes and giving them a specific name and giving them a specific controller method. But we want to specify that this second parameter of our team, right, is the second name is a parameter. So we can do that by simply specifying it as a parameter by using the curly brace. So we're going to specify that using a curly brace and say name. And it's going to take us now to team member method. And then we can now say, so we're saying at this point that when I hit the endpoint, team/anything, which I'm going to call a name, it should take me to the public controller and there's a method called team member, right? So it means we have to define a method called team member. So each time I hit team/anything, which I am assuming here is the name of the team member, it should take me to the public controller and then there's a team member function, right? So if we go to the team controller, there is no team member function. So if we do public function team member and we do this and we save, if we refresh this, maybe we have not saved it. So if we save this, we refresh. So it shows us a blank page, right? Because it is rendering this. Just to be sure, we're going to say echo, I am in team member method, for example. And if I refresh this, it's going to say I am in team member method. So save this, refresh, I'm in team member method. Now we have said that this is a variable. Now we want to send it from the route to the controller, right? We want to send it from this route. We want to send the name from this route to this controller. So what we do is we take it, receive it as a parameter, name. Okay, we receive as a parameter. So this name is the parameter that has been received. And if we remove this, we'll just say echo, for example, name, and I will save this. You see, John. And if I change this one from John to Peter, it changes to James, you see, to Paul, to Weno. So any name that I change here is being received in our application, in our controller. Now we need to send this data now from the controller to the view. And remember, we said if you want to send a data from a controller to a view, you can use the compact. Remember, we had created a view folder called teams, right? The team Martin. So we'll not call this team Martin, we'll call this team member, right? We rename this to be teams member. So there's a teams folder, there's a member file. So for the teams member, it means we're going to return view teams.member. And then we're going to compact name. So we're saying that go to the teams folder and look for the blade file called member, right? Which is this. And remember, we have our slot that we had already been working with. We can just say X layout, right? We have our layout, sorry, X layout. And we can now display the name, right, of that person. So if we save this and we refresh, we see that we have an error. It says undefined variable title. Whoops, it's because we have not defined the slot for title. So we need to come back inside here. We say X slot for title. And then I'm going to remove this and then I'll say name of or details of team member. I'm going to put the name here just to see how it looks like. Something is missing. Okay. Details of team member, X slot title. So missing required parameter for route team name. Missing parameter name. What are we missing here? This is where it gets hard. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think we are making now, we're having a problem because this route, so if we go and do, if we do PHP artisan route list, PHP artisan route list, we'll see that we have the teammate. This team has the same name and the team member has the same name of the route. So this is a very big problem. I could have just edited this part and removed, but it's nice that you see the real world problems that some of these things will cause. So you cannot have two routes with the same name, right? You cannot have two routes with the same name. So I have created another route here, team. So it has a name team, it has a name team. So it should not be like that. So I have to rename this and say this is dot member, right? So the route, the name of this route is team.member, right? It's team.member. So if I save this now, I go back and I refresh my page, it should give me nice. And so this is now the particular team member. So I'll just need to put a div here so that goes down. So name of, just to a context. So here now we have the details of this team. By the time I change this member to, let's say, Martin, you see the name changes here, right? If I change this member to John, right, name changes. So this is how you pass parameters from your controller, from your route to your controller. And just for a summary again, for you to pass parameter from your route is you use a parameter here. So instead of using an absolute name, right, you use it with curly brace. And once you use it with curly brace, you define the controller and you define the method and you give the controller a name. And every name in this controller should be different. The controller's name cannot be the same or should not be the same, else it will cause conflict. And once you send the parameter, you can receive it in the controller by taking it as a parameter to the function, right, to the controller function. And again, you can now do using the compact as a second parameter to the view to send this name into the view. So if we save this and then we'll go and look at our page, we're going to see that have this nice and clean. So if we move here, 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 and then all of that, so we have it nice and clean.